The UK government's new EV grant is a game changer. For the first time, driving an electric vehicle can be cheaper than petrol even if you can't charge at home. Let's look at why. For years, one of the biggest barriers was the upfront cost. EVs were usually more expensive to buy even though they promised lower running costs later. But with the new government grant, models like the Ford Puma Gen-E are now priced almost the same as the Petrol Puma. And that's the turning point. When the purchase price is level, the ongoing savings are impossible to ignore. So let's compare them directly. Driving 200 miles in the Petrol Puma uses just over 20 liters of fuel. At today's prices, that works out at about £30. Now look at the Puma Gen-E. Charging at home overnight on an off-peak tariff costs roughly £4 for more than 200 miles of range. That's around 6 times cheaper than petrol, even if you rely entirely on public charging. On networks like Ionity, Tesla, or Instavolt, the price is about 50 pence per kilowatt hour. For 200 miles, that comes out to around £22 only. In other words, the EV is cheaper whether you charge at home or not. Of course, EVs do have downsides. The biggest one is charging time. Filling a petrol tank takes just a few minutes, whereas going from 10 to 80% in the Puma Gen-E takes around half an hour on a 100 kilowatt rapid charger. That's typical for EVs generally. But if you charge while you are shopping, grabbing a coffee, or at the gym, it doesn't feel like wasted time. And with more charging stations being built every month, this issue is getting smaller. It's also important to remember that the benefits don't stop at cost savings. EVs in general are much quieter than petrol and diesel cars, which makes city driving more pleasant. They accelerate more quickly thanks to instant torque, making them fun to drive. They produce no tailpipe emissions, which means cleaner air in our towns and cities. And overall, they carry a much lower climate impact, which matters if you care about the environment. So here's the bottom line. With the new EV grant, electric vehicles are no longer more expensive to buy. They are dramatically cheaper to run if you can charge at home. And even if you can't, they are still cheaper than petrol. That's why this grant is such a game changer. EVs are no longer just for early adopters or people with driveways. They are now a smart, realistic choice for almost everyone. What do you think? Would you consider switching to an EV now? Let me know in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more contents like this. I will see you in the next one.